I know my tendencies are to laterally get this way and
Yes.
not rotate. If I get lateral too much and I get out of sync or whatever it is, that's just going to give me more room to let my hands get more flippy, right?
I always say it like this, you're spot on, and our viewer needs to understand this. This is why that move that people teach, that big shift laterally.
Yeah.
Oh, Todd and I just look at that and it was because here's the problem. People are moving because they don't have that anchor point set in the first place.
Right.
We talk about how that weight transfer happens with the upper body turning around the spine angle over the instep of this foot. And of course, there's going to be a little bit of movement back that way, but none that you're actively trying to create.
Yeah.
As Todd always tells me, weight wants to go where it doesn't already exist. And when the weight's already in here, listen, it's going to move back over there. But that move that people work on that really kills them is this lateral move ends up being a slide.
Yeah.
And that slide, think about it. The club's here. If I'm rotating, that's what gets it to go down the line. That's why you want the club to be on plane and not over here. If the club's over here, well now we have problems because we're turning in this direction with the club out there. Not great, right? You want the club to be here so that you can rotate to square it up and get it down the line through the impact zone. Lateral movement in both directions. And I've got it down to a science. For every inch of sway, it takes about 10 degrees of rotation away.
Okay.
And each one of those degrees you're not rotating, you're spending lifting.
Right.
And then when you're going back over this way, you're having to throw it back. And that is devastating for most people. We've always talked about the hip bumping up against that wall.
Yeah.
And that's why I mentioned to you, by the way, I slipped it in there.
Yeah.
I want your hip turning up against that wall. That was a good swing right there. When that left hip, and this is what you just did, when that left hip turns back, your right shoulder covers it and goes through. I'm going to give you one last tip today. I talk about a merry-go-round. Your spine being the center of that.
Right.
The right side of that merry-go-round is the right shoulder in the right pocket. The left side is the left shoulder in the left pocket. I like thinking about opposites. When my right hip turns back towards the target, my left shoulder goes over. Now in the downswing, when I cover it, my left pocket moves back and my right shoulder moves over towards the target. And you can see I can do that without my head moving, right? And that's just me doing it around my spine angle.
Right.
That weight transfer is happening as a result of chest over the inside of my right, chest over the inside of my left. There's the weight transfer. And more importantly, you can see with the arms in front of my body, there's me covering the golf ball, low point past the golf ball through it. So
yeah.
you did a good job of that on there. The left pocket went back, your right shoulder really attacked the target without lateral movement.
I've always had a little natural move to the right and a little natural move to the left, but it's always been kind of just,
yeah,
you know, like a swing, not so much.
And here's what's funny. You get the golfer who goes, well, hold on, I pitch back like this. I need that shift.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You need a better setup. Caden, in our last lesson on YouTube, we had, I think it's titled, It's All in the Hips. So many instructors would get in there and start working on this. No.
Yeah.
All we did was get the pressure points in the correct spot, and that would happen naturally.
Yeah.
Okay, let me be real specific about this. If you drew a line at the top of your swing on the outside of your hip and drew it straight down, you would only go over half a hip width before completely rotating. That's the secret to seeing a perfect lateral move. That will happen with the proper setup and proper turn to the top. None that's actively created. But the golfer who's set up neutral like everybody is and then drifts back here, well, yeah, then they got to shift way back over because here's the thing. In order to make good contact and to rotate, there needs to be a post on this lead leg. And that femur getting above that foot creates that post and allows for that pure rotation.
And one of the big things I've noticed for me too is like when I do my rehearsals, it's easy for me to like
drift.
I know. To get over there, and I feel it when I get to the top when I'm doing my drill.
This is going to be a new training aid coming out. How about this? The skateboard grip tape on top.
Yep.
The cleats underneath. Okay, but like right here.
Yeah.
You got the wedge. Now here's the thing. This is a great visual. When you bump your hips, I always tell people it creates the feeling like you have a doorstop underneath the outside of your right foot.
Yeah.
Okay. And look, it doesn't feel like you can get down more on top of it that way too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's hit one like that. Really covered it with that to his chest there. Do you feel that? You could see this. What I loved is, you know, people who are looking to get off their right side, you're doing this through rotation, not a lateral move.
Yeah.
People who laterally move, then their spine actually pitches back more, and they get more like this. Look at that. Yeah, see, it really covers it. Good, buddy. Well, hey, you're the man.
Yeah, good stuff.
And I really appreciate you, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a great lesson.
Yeah.
At Porzak Golf, we take a lot of pride in having developed some of the best and most consistent golf swings on the planet. We do this through simplicity. Our Full Swing Masterclass will take you on a step-by-step, easy-to-understand process on how to get your golf swing better than ever. Join the many before you who've utilized our Full Swing Masterclass to take their games to the next level and beyond.